Ako si Rolando Padillo, Senior Vet Assistant. 19 years na sa Vets in Practice Hospital.
I'm Dr. Marga Carpio, one of the founding partners of Vets in Practice.
I'm Marla Nicandro. I'm a VIP fur mom, and this is Kiwi. She's my youngest.
I'm Doc Nielsen Donato, and I'm one of the founding partners of Vets in Practice. I think my love for pets started when I was as early as 3 years old, and I would always hear my mom telling her friends, her relatives that, ito si Nielsen, bata pa lang, sabi niya gusto niya maging doktor aso, doktor pusa.
I was lucky enough to grow up in a family that adored animals. We were always surrounded with pets. I was allowed to bring home stray kittens. We always had dogs wherever we went. And sometimes even allowed to have ducks, exotics that I would bring back home. Ever since I was young, I knew that I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Bali sa Davao, mayroon akong itong alagang aso. Yung magina ko, sobrang hilig din sa mga aso. Halimbawa, pag may minamaltrato, kinukuha ng asawa ko kasi naawa siya. Binibili niya, yun, dumami yung mga aso namin, tapos hanggang sa napamahal na sa amin. Tinuturing namin na siya na parang pamilya na namin, parang membro ng pamilya.
I always grew up with pets from my parents and my grandparents. So until now, we still have dogs at home. We have 6 at home now.
We started first with a small apartment that we would share this surgical clinic. During our house calls, we would accumulate all the surgical cases, and then we would do the surgeries at least once a week or twice a week. It was getting busy already. A lot of our clients were already telling us, put up a hospital na. I didn't want to do that on my own. I wanted to have partners. So we invited Doc Marga and Doc Nick to be managing the first Vets in Practice in the Philippines, which was situated in San Francisco in Mandaluyong.
Nick, Nielsen, Mike, and I each brought our expertise to the table. We all had genuine compassion for animals, but at the same time, we wanted to deliver that kind of expert care mixed with genuine compassion. So that's how Vets in Practice was born. We knew we wanted to elevate and deliver expert animal care at its best.
Now, VIP has grown bigger thanks to our younger partners, Dr. Siday Peñaranda, Dr. Mariel Flores, Dr. Richard Encomienda, Dr. Dexter Mercurio, Dr. J. Bartolome, and Dr. Jess Aicocho. They have propelled the clinic to where it is today and are the force behind the everyday success of VIP. Without them, we would have remained a small clinic. But because of them, we are all here today at the forefront of advancing companion animal practice in the Philippines.
Nagsimula ako sa Vets in Practice 2004. Yung una kong trabaho, taga-walis, taga-punas, taga-laban ng mga labahan nila, ng mga aso. Ang sabi sa akin ng mga doktor, mag-observe ka muna sa mga ginagawa ng mga assistant. Tinuruan ako ng mga senior assistant isa at saka yung mga vet namin kung paano mag-assist. Hanggang sa nakabisado ko na. Ngayon, ako na yung senior vet assistant ng Vets in Practice. Nagkatiwala na sa akin na paano assist ng mga surgery.
I started with VIP in their first branch in Mandaluyong in their very small clinic pa. When Kiwi was born, she was born with a crooked leg. Kulang yung bones pala niya. So we splinted it before until she grew old enough na pwede siyang gawan ng prosthesis. So VIP introduced me to a Japanese dental technologist who made her prosthesis. VIP really finds ways to help our pets with whatever they need.
Sa ting nagawa ko ng tama, papasalamat pa sila sa akin. Nagsasabi sa akin minsan na thank you Orlan. Kasi nagawa natin ng maayos. Turing kang parang paras lang, pantay-pantay lang kami. Turing sa'yo, hindi ka assistant. Kung teamwork sa pagtrabaho, yan ang para sa akin ng VIP treatment.
My late lolo also brought his dogs to VIP. So Parang it's passed on from generation to generation then yung trust sa VIP. So what I like about VIP is we create a relationship with each other. They care for our pet and so the trust is really there. So VIP makes us feel nurtured and understood and I think that's the perfect definition of what makes the VIP treatment.
It's something that we heard from clients na, oh, yung VIP experience, it's so different because one is you see the vets really handle the animals. They talk to them and we talk to the clients not only specifically about their pets but anything under the roof. By treating them that way, it makes them more comfortable. But also, for our colleagues, our staff, we treat them equally. We want to make them like part of the family. We work as a team. We're always at their back to support them. So at Vets in Practice, everyone is treated equally. That's the VIP treatment.
We're known to be a hospital na walang tinatanggihan. We have a vet for any pet and their needs. VIP means a lot of things. Vets in Practice, where we're able to deliver expert care. It's also very important people, where the people, the staff, and our clients are utmost importance to us. And of course, very important pets. Whether doctors or staff, clients or pets, everyone deserves to be treated like a VIP. And that is the VIP treatment.
I appreciate all that VIP has done. They always care for our pets. Your dedication and your commitment of excellence is what really drove you to success. And I hope you continue to learn, continue to educate, and to continue to care for our pets. Happy 20th anniversary, Vets in Practice!
Ang mensahe ko sa Vets in Practice family, sana marami pang mga kliyente na dumating, sana maraming branch pa na maipatayo. Maraming salamat sa tiwala sa Vets in Practice and happy 20th anniversary.
My message to the VIP families, thank you so much. We would never have reached our status this long without your support and your love for the company. I think in the 20 years of Vets in Practice operating, I think we have treated more than 1 million pets already. In the end, Vets in Practice mission is to give exceptional pet care and genuine compassion. Vets in Practice, happy 20th anniversary. Congratulations, and we will go long more years.
To our dear clients, thank you for trusting us and allowing us to be a part of you and your pets' lives. To our business partners, thank you for the support and for partnering with us to make a positive impact in this world. To our Vets in Practice community, we owe all of this to you. Thank you so much for all the years of dedicated service. You are the real VIP.
My human told me we're going to VIP. I think I've heard of that. Will I be getting a VIP treatment? But wait, what makes a VIP treatment anyway? Is it the beautiful building? Is it the good smell when you come in? The nice and comfy couch while we wait? Is it because of the food haven? Or the facilities? Or maybe the suite rooms? Or maybe it's their emergency facility that even my exotic friends can visit. Or maybe those are not just it. It's the smiles of Kuya Guard, the warm welcome of the receptionist, the belly rub from the vet assistant, the endless kumustahan with my human doctors, the exceptional care by asking how my days go by, their genuine compassion with my health. Them, these humans, they are what make the VIP treatment. Vets in Practice, exceptional pet care and genuine compassion. I'm doing this for the treats, you know. Do I look like I want my photo taken right now? I was expecting an afro.
Doc, that's not where my mouth is. Sus, Ginoo.
My human told me we're
Alright, good evening everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of our podcast. Sorry, medyo natagalan. Medyo natagalan tayo pero here we are and we are going to be talking about something very important. And something that is napapanahon, no? Very timely and we really wanted to make sure that we tackle this topic tonight. Okay? Tonight, we are actually joined by very special people in our panel. Of course, first and foremost, hindi mawala ating social media resident, Dr. Nikki.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
And then, of course, we also have Garpon Salan, a pet enthusiast, a fur parent, and a rescuer.
I love pet.
And then, of course, hindi mo mawala, very, very special speaker for tonight. Her very busy schedule na singit tayo. Thank you so much. Please welcome Dr. Marga Carpio. Hello, Doc Marga. Good evening. Hi, everybody. Okay. Sige, so, I think we're currently experiencing some little bit of technical difficulties, no? But we are going to be talking about rabies. Later on, no, we will be tackling a lot about this. But first and foremost, why don't you type in all your questions, any questions pertaining to this topic on the comment section. Then later on, our speakers will be able to answer all these questions of yours. Okay? Let us know if you are hearing us clearly. Okay na ba, guys? Okay na ba yung audio natin? Okay na. That's better. Okay, sige. So, let's start with our first segment. What is happening right now? Let's talk about Rabies 101. Alright, we are back. So, ano ang una natin pag-uusapan? Doc Nikki, what is rabies?
Yeah, okay. So, rabies, it's a viral disease of mammals. So, usually, it affects the central nervous system. So, mostly involving the brain, ganyan. So, it's 100% fetal, but it's preventable. So, yun.
Okay, go.
So, yun. Once the symptoms appears, medyo mahirap control or i-treat. So, it's always the prevention that's making that will make us safe against the virus. Humans and our companion pets as well. So,
Question ko. Nangyari
Sige,
na ba
go.
na, na nakikita mo na yung symptoms in humans, pero this is outside our scope. This is, please refer to the Mind Center. Na-realize ko lang din pala.
but siguro with humans kasi talagang mas late pag mas late nag-appear yung symptoms after the bite, it takes almost 10 to 14 period talaga.
Siguro, Doc, for pets na lang, no? Diba usually pag they're showing symptoms, nababalik pa ba sila once they show?
Actually, it's irreversible talaga. It's the ones since it affects the central nervous system, which controls everything in the body. The way we breathe, the way we eat, the way we feel pain. So, talagang once it reaches the brain, any disease naman, once it reaches the brain, it's really hard most of the time, it's irreversible. Yan. Kaya, it's really the prevention. That's, yun talagang ipupush natin with comes to rabies virus, it's really the prevention.
So, dapat talaga once you feel na it's there na
Yeah.
you do everything necessary para hindi na siya umabot sa brain.
Yeah, any exposure, any suspected exposure to a possibility that you might contract the rabies, it's really vital that we do any necessary precautions. Yun. So usually, pag in symptoms kasi sa animals, it's really a bit different with humans and animals. So since ang animal, I'll focus on animals lang naman.
Definitely.
Although kasi parang medyo thin line din naman kasi yung involvement ng veterinary doctors with regards to like the rabies virus kasi nga zoonotic siya. Zoonotic meaning it affects humans as well. But it's from animals yung virus itself. So talagang medyo thin line yung involvement ng veterinary doctors when it comes to rabies. So but for dogs kasi, which is the most common lalo na here sa Philippines na encounter natin na may rabies virus. Yun nga, there are two types kasi, the dumb and the furious form. And the thing is, mas common yung dumb form and it's harder to see the signs kasi there are other diseases that would appear with the same symptoms as a dumb form rabies. Kasi like kunyari, yung hypersalivation with dumb form na rabies or yung lethargic lang, parang matamlay tas hindi lang sila aware. It could be medyo broad kasi the symptoms of it could also present as like something lang na neurologic, not rabies itself. Pwede rin actually distemper. Distemper virus medyo it closely it could closely resemble symptoms of a dumb rabies form. Yeah. So
Hindi
yun.
mo talaga malalaman unless na tested.
Yes, and the thing is the most accurate way to test for rabies is once the dog is deceased and then we get a sample of the brain. Yun. So but there test kits na, but it's a bit hindi pa siya ganun ka-accurate talaga compared to like getting a brain sample. Ayun. So usual din naman na symptoms if it's furious type naman yun aggression, excessive drooling, paralysis, or parang talagang hindi sila aware or they do not appear na parang kahit like kasi sometimes what they do is they bite off the cage, ganyan, sa sobrang uneasy nila, biting of the cage.
Early on, may
parang
tendency sila.
ganyan, na sobrang aggressive, tapos parang they appear to not feel any pain at all. So parang they dismiss na kahit parang duguan na yung nagdudugo na from the mouth, ganyan, parang they don't feel na parang painful. So it's really something that we have to parang consider na baka may something na. So baka this is something serious na talaga.
So in terms of exposure, Doc, you said exposure. Usually how does it spread ba, the rabies
Well,
virus?
mostly it's through bites and scratches kasi syempre with like dogs and cats parang when they usually lick their paws, ganyan, so the saliva is mostly parang almost nasa paws din nila most of the time. So when they scratch you and then it nagkakaroon ng open wound, yun, dun siya natatransmit sa humans.
Okay, so ibig sabihin pag nakalmot ka, pwede ka ma-infect kasi parang nilang dinidilaan yung paws. Hindi dahil yung kuko nila.
Yes, walang rabies
may
sa kuko.
rabies. Oo.
So that's ayan, misconception ko.
Right. Ano ba yung mga myths? I think Doc Marga can also share with us, no? Doc Marga, yung mga myths na ibabust sana natin. Ano bang mga pwede natin ma-share sa scientists?
I'd say again, we're talking to clarify, we're talking about animal rabies tonight. Physician is better, it will be more knowledgeable because now for animals, I guess the number one thing is wala kang magagawa. I'd like to repeat that this is 100% preventable disease through vaccination of our pet dogs and cats.
Right.
So meron ba tayong like numbers in the Philippines right now on how
Well,
Because of the news, di ba? Parang there are a lot of things that are very highlighted right now. But maybe there's a Philippine data that...
most the thing is with the Philippines kasi since there are a lot of stray dogs and cats, it's hard to really have an accurate count of how many cases talaga ng rabies. Pero kasi with humans, they can get an accurate result of how many yung humans na affected. So when it comes to myths also, parang isa sa pinaka-common na that we encounter, well, here in the hospital, parang people assume that all dogs have rabies. They don't. So, rabies is just a type of virus that dogs get. Parang it's just a sickness that they can get. It's not necessary na basta aso may rabies agad. So, that's why, again, as Doc Marga said, it's preventable. Kasi hindi lahat ng aso may rabies. Hindi lahat ng pusa may rabies. But, yun nga, if unknown, mostly unknown history, especially if like mga stray dogs, stray cats, and then, siguro doon ang gagaling yung misconception na lahat ng dogs and cats may rabies. Kasi nga, when you get scratched by pag unknown history, parang laging sasabi na, magpabakuna ka na agad. But it's just for safety talaga. Sure. Kasi nga, since you don't know kung ano yung meron dun sa pet or dun sa animal na yun. So it's just,
So,
I think
siguro
that's
a
where
myth?
it's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, so siguro a myth would say another one is it is not inborn. So all dogs
Right.
are not born with rabies. Similar to COVID, no? I think it's a virus we can all relate to. Bago ka mahawa, kailangan meron muna yung makakahawa sa'yo. So, dogs and cats are not born with rabies. Kailangan mahawa muna sila sa ibang hayop na meron ng rabies bago
Correct.
nila pwede transmit to. So, I think that's the biggest thing. Whenever they hear na, oh, nakagat ako or nakalmot ako, they think they have rabies na. So, the next question would be, na-expose ba yung pet ninyo sa ibang animal na hindi bakunado or hindi ninyo alam? Would be the next follow-up question for that. Because if they say, Doc, wala, kasama ko lang naman sa bahay, never naman lumabas, then it is impossible na for your pet, that pet, to have contracted and transmit rabies.
Yun. Oo. Growing up, no? Kasi mahilig ako manghingi ng tuta. So, parati ko narinig sa mga puppies. Di ba? Pero sinasabi ng lola ko sa akin, hey, baka makagat ka niya, magka-rabies ka. Pero puppy yun, no? Sabi nga ni Doc Marga, dogs are not born with rabies. Kailangan mahawa muna sila. So, yun. That's a myth that we just busted today.
Yeah. Actually, marami din akong,
That's good.
diba, isa sa sad fact na pagka yung mga ibang clients na, well, not yet that educated with like pet care, parang pupunta sila dito na may dalang puppy, like they're gonna ask na, pwede ba daw putulan yung ngipin? Kasi nga daw, mas malakas daw yung rabies pag puppies. So, walang gano'n.
Ipin?
Yeah. Parang, syempre, we
Okay,
cannot-
so hindi sa ipin nang gagaling yung rabies,
yeah, hindi rin siya, well, hindi natin pwede i-cut yung ngipin ng puppies. So,
Right.
that's really, against animal welfare. Yeah. So, no. And hindi rin mas malakas yung rabies pag puppies. So, it's just, again, it's not inborn. So, yun. Kung hindi naman siya exposed to anything, to any other dogs na pwede siya mahawa, hindi siya magkakaroon ng rabies.
And how about yung ako naman, isa sa mga myths na naririnig ko, pag aspin, matibay na yan, hindi na kailangan yan, nakuha niya na yung mga cells na hindi na So, regarding that myth, is it still important na hindi ba sila magkaka-rabies?
Actually, kasi if we're gonna consider yung parang kung sa dami ng aspin, mas maraming aspin na stray So technically, mas prone sila to contracting rabies. So hindi imposible na magka-rabies sila. So kailangan din nila ng mas kailangan pa nga more, kasi lalo na expose sila with other with other dogs or
Yeah.
yung mga stray dogs talaga.
Pero a question for Doc Marga. Doc Marga, no, being in the practice for a longer time than Doc Nikki, where do you think that came from, no? Na ang aspin daw hindi na kailangan ng anti-rabies.
That's weird, no? It doesn't, that
Oo.
would not make any sense. In fact, I would say most cases, incidentally, nagiging aspin only because mas maraming strays. Like what Doc Nikki said, which means
Yeah.
if hindi sila leashed, caged, or kept indoors, sila yung mas gumagala dyan, sila yung mas may chance makipag-away or makagat ng ibang aso. Kaya sila mas prone. Kaya there are rules, no? Very important, mga batas, may dahilan yan why we should keep our pets in leashes or in cages or in our homes controlled simply because pwede silang ma-expose yung mga pets sa ibang dogs na may rabies, tapos pag uwi, pwede nilang dalhin sa bahay.
Yeah. How long does it usually take for symptoms to manifest, Doc Marga, pagka na-expose yung dog mo to
So
another dog has rabies?
in dogs, no, in animals, it is acute, meaning it happens right away. Almost all animals that will contract rabies will almost 100% die within 10 days.
10 days.
So the number one myth, which leads us to another myth, is pag kinagat ka, gantihan mo, papatayin mo na yung aso. Yes, mistake. Because what you should do, ang dapat gawin natin is actually obserbahan natin, keep natin yung aso. Kapag ang aso buhay lampas 10 araw, imposible na meron siyang transmittable rabies at that time. Because only when the dog has symptoms can it actually transmit the virus. And when it has the symptoms, patapos na actually siya. 7 to 10, sometimes 14 days is actually a very short time for an animal. And it will almost certainly die already. So kapag mamatay yung dog, we suggest you wait the 10 days. Kung okay yung dog, then it is very unlikely na nakapag-transmit siya to any animal or person ng rabies.
Yeah.
Pero, opposite nun is if meron sakit, nanghihina, within 10 days, mamatay, magdasal na kayo. Hindi, loka lang. you send... You send.
Question, Doc Marga.
You have to send the head hat, not the carcass. That's a very, in RITM and BAI, it's a big mistake. Dinadala yung dogs, no, yung bodies. At naalala ko nung estudyante pa ako, nag-i-intern doon, no, kailangan yung ulo lang kasi yung brain lang yung titignan nila. And that is a free service that the government allows to confirm kung may rabies or not. The good thing there is in humans, it is really delayed, months or even up to a year. So ang laki ng chance, ang laki ng window, actually, ng opportunity for a human to get treatment. Versus a dog, it will be 100% fatal in a very short time.
Right.
So, Doc Marga, hindi po siya nag-incubate yung rabies sa dogs?
It does. It
yeah.
incubates,
Short
but
lang.
it's very short.
Mabilis
So
lang.
that's what we call acute. All viruses need to incubate. There's no virus that won't incubate, except incubation period varies per virus. And in the Rabies, in the rabies virus, it's a very short. Also, it depends rin where a human is bitten. The nearer to the brain, the shorter,
The faster.
the faster magsasakam yung tao. The farther away from the brain, you have a little bit more time.
Yeah. So, balikan ko lang yung sinabi ni Doc Marga at the onset, no? Sabi niya kasi, so another myth that we wanna really bust is that pag nakagat ka ng aso or a stray dog, wag mo papatayin agad yung aso. Diba? You have to observe muna. Diba? Kasi ako, I've heard that before. Na ganun talaga ginagawa nila. Oh, patay mo na kasi tanggalin yung ulo tapos padala para ma-check, no? Parating ganun, no? And I remember this case from last year, the Kilua case, if you guys can remember, the golden retriever. Di ba? So, nakawala siya, tapos nangagat siya ng ibang tao, tapos may nakakita sa kanya, pinatay siya agad. Kasi daw nakakagat ng tao.
Kasi yun yung belief nung...
Because that was the belief. And this happened outside Metro Manila, so medyo, di ba? So yun,
Correct.
let's not do that.
Yeah.
We have to observe muna.
You also for dog bites, no? For animal bites or scratches, kailangan rin naman natin as pet owners intindihin kung provoked or hindi yung bite or scratch. Meaning, yung asong nauulol or yung furious form would be unexplained attack out of character ng aso. Pero, yung naapakan mo naman yung buntot, tapos kinagat ka, or batang kinukulit, nakadikit yung face na ganon, those are what we call unprovoked circumstances. And you cannot say na naulol yung dog because nangagat. Because it's really the instinct of a dog to use his teeth or their claws and their, for cats as weapons for defense nila.
Yeah. Or pag kumakain, di ba, Dok?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lalo na yun. Resource
aggression.
guarding.
Yeah.
Food aggression. Lumapit
Or
ka
like
bigla.
dog aggression, like my dog.
Your dog.
Aggressive sa other dogs.
Aggressive sa everyone.
Your
Sa
dog is
everyone ba?
aggressive to everybody.
It's a demon. Possessed.
Yeah. Yon. So, yun nga, no? It's important that we know na mamaya, hindi porke nangagat, ibig sabihin na nasisira na yung ulo niya, may rabies na yan. Kasi baka mamaya, talagang may nag-drive lang for the pet.
Nag-cause.
May nag-cause lang. Right. Diba? Yon. Okay. So, may question ka kanina dapat yan. Doc Marga, meron ba?
Nasagot na.
Nasagot mo lang.
Nasagot na ba?
Nasagot na pala. Okay, sige. I wanna move on to the next topic, our next segment, prevention, di ba? So kanina we touched on that earlier. So ano yung mga dapat na mga pwede nating gawin in terms of prevention? So, cue video clip. All right.
Yeah.
So, Doc Nikki, why don't you take us through ano yung mga protection na we can take para sa mga pets natin, tsaka sa atin natin.
For the pets, kasi syempre naman, it's actually government mandated that all pets should have yearly or annual anti-rabies vaccine. So, it's part of the core vaccine protocol, especially when pag nag-start pa lang sila, like during puppyhood. So, around 3 to 4 months, pwede nang mag-start mag-inject ng anti-rabies. And then, yearly na siya talaga. So, ganun din naman. And also, syempre, I would also consider having them neutered as a prevention. Syempre, kasi if it's, pag medyo binabawasan natin talaga yung population ng mga dogs and cats, especially strays, makakatulong din siya sa prevention of the spread of the virus itself. So, yun. It's also part of our, I think, the government's mandate na or plan against the control of the virus to put up more cheaper alternatives for neutering and castration, space, ganyan. Yung mga drives na ganyan. So, I think yung mga the rabies vaccination naman is almost always available sa mga local government units. So, hindi lang naman sa private hospitals natin makukuha yun. So, if you have a chance, like, kunyari may encounter kang stray dog, ganyan, and you want na ma-protectionan siya against rabies, pwede mo naman siyang dalhin sa local government to have them vaccinated for free. Yan.
City vet, no?
City vets. Yeah. So
check with your LGUs or barangay halls also for schedule of annual vaccination.
Yes.
Meron yan. Tsaka
May pa-free
it's free.
vaccination.
Oo,
vaccinations,
meron.
yes. So,
Meron
almost naman. Tapos may mga projects din naman sila that they go to villages, sa mga subdivisions para mag-conduct ng mga free vaccination drives. Yeah. Parang kasi when I was a student, talagang lagi din kaming nai-invite ng mga local government to help with the vaccination drives, ganyan. So yun, they also provide certificates na proof na meron vaccination na vaccinate yung dog against rabies. And then yun nga, since government mandate siya na yearly dapat meron, may mga cases kasi parang ibang clients na they're asking na bakit abroad it's like every 3 years na the rabies vaccine. So it actually depends on how prevalent or kung gaano kadami yung mga cases ng rabies sa isang bansa. So kunyari sa US or yung mga rabies-free countries, hindi na masyadong required na yearly yung anti-rabies vaccines kasi nga it's not prevalent anymore or hindi na siya ganun kadami yung cases. Yes.
Question for Doc Marga. Doc Marga, I know that you've been exposed to practice abroad, no? Why do you think medyo behind ang Philippines in terms of rabies prevention? Medyo delayed lang tayo kay ang dating yata kay MC. Babalikan na si Doc Marga.
Yeah.
Babalikan na si Doc Marga.
Question, Doc.
Medyo nag-ano lang.
Sinabi mo kanina, mga 3 to 4 months yung pwede na magpa-vaccine.
Yes.
After that, how meron pa bang process na ilang may pa-booster pa na ilang?
Well, sa practice, we don't give booster shots anymore of rabies. So, one shot is good for a year na talaga. But of course, if there is an exposure, for example, nakipag-away yung dog mo, we can do booster shots. Parang it's the same vaccine that we use for prevention. Pwede rin naman siya parang for post-exposure just to be on the safer side. Yeah, ganun siya. Pero hindi naman palaging nire-recommend basta vaccinated. Parang usually that's what you can ask for pagka kunyari dog park incident, nakagat yung dog mo ng isa pang dog. Parang yung ask, vaccinated ba yung dog? Parang can you show me proof? Ganyan. Kasi yun yung isa sa mga nagiging issues na parang pagka nagkakaroon, syempre, magulo siya pag with like two pet owners.
Yeah.
So, yun, it's just, mas maganda lang talaga na meron proof lagi tayong dala na vaccinated yung dogs natin.
Okay.
So, if like, untoward incidents, like yun nga, nakipag-away yung mga dogs. Kasi minsan mahirap talaga i-prevent yun
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, so talagang mas maganda na both na involved parties could present something na would stand as a proof na vaccinated.
So yun pala yung reason kung bakit with all malls kailangan dala-dala mo yung vaccination card.
Yes.
I think Doc Marga's back. Doc Marga, can you hear us now? Doc Marga?
Yes.
Ayun, okay. There you are.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, so going back to my question earlier, Doc Marga, because Doc Nikki touched on yung requirement ng government would vary from country to country depending on how prevalent the rabies virus is. Now, having been exposed or have experience in the vet practice abroad, why do you think kaya medyo behind si Philippines pagdating sa rabies prevention, Doc?
I don't know what you mean by behind, but I would say it's kaya nga natin i-prevent. There are some islands that are rabies-free. We're islands, so we have the unique ability to become rabies-free when you're an island. Simply because you can control the inward and outward movement. We also, in the Philippines, we don't have big warm-blooded animals. So there's very little wild animals that can be natural reservoirs. Unlike, like Australia and the States, they have raccoons, they have bats. Although we have those, it's more unlikely being islands. So there are a few islands that are proudly rabies-free in the Philippines, but it's always been in our field a goal sana to make the Philippines rabies-free, which is actually doable. It just needs more information and more vigilance from the pet owners. The LGUs have always made the vaccine cheap and available, even free most of the time. I guess it's the pet owner's responsibility na talaga. And I would encourage community leaders to ask for a vaccination drive, no? Start with
Yeah.
the communities. I think we can all do our part there. And like what Doc Nikki has said, no, the population and the strays play a big role talaga why we cannot control rabies. This disease that's 100% preventable. It's actually quite sad, no? So many lives of people and animals are lost unnecessarily for a disease that has been preventable for, I don't know, decades. Sayang. Mhm.
Correct. So talking about data, guys, I just pulled this no from last year, January to May 2024. There have been 169 human rabies cases. So human. Kanina kasi you were asking kung ilan yung pets na
Medyo
meron.
mahirap.
Medyo
Yeah.
mahirap. Wala tayo nun. Pero in humans, so this is coming from DOH. No? Last year was 169 human rabies cases, January to May. But this year, January to May 2025, reported 124 human rabies cases. Okay? So, hindi siya mas marami. Actually, bumaba pa nga siya this year. Pero, people are now more aware because of the media coverage that, you know, news outlets are giving parang exposure to this or coverage, no? Which is actually good. Diba? So now people are asking, people are now researching more about it. And I also heard, no, not I heard, I saw in the news na people are going to hospitals like in San Lazaro, PGH, you know, trying to get their pre-exposure rabies shots, right? Which is actually good.
Yeah.
Diba? What do you think?
Well,
It's good.
actually,
Pero sana tandaan nila, no, it's really good. Sorry, pero sana tandaan nila na the key is to vaccinate your dog. And that we have full control over, right? As pet owners, we have full control over that. It's just one vaccine a year, doesn't need boosters. It's low cost, even in private practices like ours. It's really very reasonably priced. It's part of course, the wellness plans that we offer.
Yeah.
You and your pet are safe.
Again, it's a good thing that people are more aware of it, but it doesn't need to cause panic naman. Rabies has been there for like, again, decades, so it's preventable. I always advise my clients kasi parang syempre parang they always ask na, Dok, kasi nakalmat yung anak ko, ganyan, do they need to be vaccinated? Parang in that case kasi I always tell them that if you are gonna get dogs or cats, parang it's better if you get yourself vaccinated as well. And get your dogs vaccinated. Lalo na kasi yun nga, they're very parang nagpa-panic kasi sometimes with the news parang medyo extremes din naman, but it's really preventable. Siguro part of the reason bakit parang bumababa din yung rabies cases with humans is also probably because medyo mas nagiging open na yung mga humans to like loving. Na parang nagiging with millennials, Gen Z, parang yung mga pets is the new children.
Oo.
So parang mas nagiging aware na sila na okay, we have to do vaccinations. Mas they educate themselves, nagbabasa na sila with yung mga common diseases that the pets can get. So mas bumababa talaga yung cases kasi nga parang mas nagiging sila open to like taking care of the dogs and cats kasi before parang with the older generations parang hindi masyadong importante yung lives ng mga pets. Parang mas madami rin yung cases ng animal abuse back then compared to now, which is really good as a vet.
Right.
Yun.
Okay, we're gonna take a short break. When we return, we're gonna talk about some real life cases that our vets have encountered. So stay tuned. right, we're back. And thanks for tuning in. For the ones that just tuned in, we're talking about rabies because this is a very timely topic that the country is actually facing right now. Okay, so on this segment, I want to turn you over to Doc Marga. I think Doc Marga would want to share to us her experience in encountering a rabies case. Go ahead,
Okay.
Doc.
Daming experience kasi, no? So I'd say there's two significant stories that are personal experiences. One happened maybe 8 years ago. It was a case that was brought to VIP Mandaluyong. It was the shepherd of a friend of mine, no? And he said the dog, his pet, became really lethargic. There was a wound on his muzzle, and that he was parang salivating and drooling. So although this dog, I found out based on the history, not updated yung anti-rabies shot. And unfortunately, although it never left the house, through the gate, yung sa gate ng friend ko, nung bahay nila, nakikipag-away. Kasi shepherd, so pantay. Sa kakatahol niya, may dumadaan na mga stray, nakipagkagatan, nakagat siya ng stray.
Oh, no.
Which is probably where his indoor, right? Indoor-outdoor dog within bakod niya caught rabies. So that dog passed away kasi they bring it, no? Ito siguro the 4th, 5th day nung dinala. And siguro in 2 days, namatay ka agad. Highly suspicious because of the bite. Because of the bite wound. And it's a shepherd so matapang. Alam mong it will get into fight with another dog. So we brought the brain, the head to Bai, and it was confirmed. And my recommendation to the family members was for everybody to get exposure shots just in case, because they were handling the dog, they were feeding it, hand feeding it ng fluids and all of that. Tayo naman in the veterinary field, even our handlers, everybody has pre-exposure shots. So we know that we're all protected.
Are you
Yeah.
Every year.
And I'll share lang a story, no, in terms of updating. For regular folks, no, for the common population, your pre-exposure shots, the antibodies is supposed to stay at a protective level for 3 years. But because we're highly exposed and we handle animals, we do it yearly. Okay? Because we need that extra level. We really need very high antibodies against it. So I was working then in the zoo. I was bitten by a ferret that died after it bit me in 48 hours. And for the heck of it, nung pumunta ako I knew somebody from RITM and I did the blood collection. I was curious to find out how my antibody levels were from college.
Yeah.
From college to and I still have protected levels. And I decided, protective levels, and it was 3 years past 3 years. So I would say the takeaway lang, it's the pre-exposure vaccines are very reliable. It's a really preventable talaga ang rabies.
Yeah.
So that one lang.
Nice. Thank you, Doc Marga. So it's very helpful sharing that experience.
Tsaka hindi mo akalain kasi nasa loob lang yung dog na nandun pala sa gate na.
Oo, ang ganda ng kwento nun. So sinasabi natin, hindi, indoor lang yung aso ko. Hindi yan na-expose sa iba. Pero hindi nila alam, yung pala pwede. It happens, right? Ikaw, Doc Nikki. I know you said kanina wala kang rabies kasi. Pero yun, at least na-suspect mo, meron ba?
Yeah, of course. Here is Amanda. Kasi, but it's a bit less common talaga mahirap siya i-diagnose talaga eh. And some pet owners, given that the mesomorbid, the way you send to confirm, because you have to cut out the head. So some pet owners, even if it's like suspected of rabies, they don't usually agree to have it tested, but they are open to having themselves vaccinated. If we tell them na, it's suspected of rabies, then I think for your protection, you can have yourself vaccinated. But if we open up the thought of it, of the dog, like, especially if it's like well-loved, yung talagang sobrang, alam mo yun, masakit para sa kanila that the dog died. But mas okay lang sa kanila to not know, but they will protect themselves by getting vaccinated. So, yun. Kaya hindi pa masyadong common talaga. But, yun, marami na rin kaming suspicions talaga. But, yun, hindi lang talaga palaging nako-confirm.
Maybe because sobrang bilis niya, no?
Yes,
mag-progress,
isa pa yun.
no?
So, parang it doesn't give us a lot of time to diagnose na baka rabies ba talaga to, ganyan. So, sa dami nga, lalo na pag dumb form nga, marami talagang kamukha na sakit.
Right. So, what's a dumb form? Ito. So, we found this video. We can share to everybody. Siguro, yan. If you can see it right now, sabi, this is a dumb form daw.
Right.
Rabies.
So siguro to make comments with the video, it's parang lethargic. So nanghihina yung aso, naglalaway, kasi yung throat muscles parang mas napaparalyze, nahihirapan sila uminom. Nahirapan sila rin mag-chew kaya hindi makakain. So actually yun yung mga reasons. Hindi na sila swallow. Pati yung hydrophobia, no, Nikki, it's actually more in humans. Yung sabi niya, takot sa tubig. But it's actually hindi sila makalunok.
So parang
ayaw nila ng
Hindi
tubig.
siya takot sa tubig.
Technically kasi parang it's more of na parang desperate ka uminom kasi parang feeling mo, oh no, kasi di ka makainom. So parang nagko-cause siya na parang in distress kasi syempre you're not yourself na because of the virus itself.
Yeah.
Yun. So parang
Kala nila ayaw ng tubig. Gusto nun, hindi lang mainom.
Yeah. So, this is the dumb form, no? Hindi, and this is the total opposite of yung usual na nakikita natin sa internet na...
Yeah, but again, it's a tentative diagnosis.
Yeah, the other form, it's less common, is the furious form. And I have another story for you, no? It's my priest family friend, no? My priest uncle. He was in a seminary in Tagaytay. Nasa hallway daw siya. Now, as he wanted to cross the hallway, meron daw stray dog sa dulo ng hallway. So, nag-hesitate siya. He was finding a way to get out of the situation. And the dog just lunged at him.
Oh my gosh.
So, this stray dog lunged and bit him sa thigh. Na yun sa in his defense, he tried to hold the head. So, in that act, na strangulate rin niya and that dog died. When he let me know, he said it was a dog he's never seen. The seminary really has a dog population that we take care of, but it was a stray that they've never seen before. So I did tell him to get the shots right away. They brought the head again to Bai, and it was confirmed that it was rabies. But in his case, typically in the furious form where there is a severe dog bite, no, talagang he was hospitalized for weeks with sepsis because it was a rabies. So usually a rabid dog will also give a very toxic wound. And I've read also the studies with that, no. I mean, it doesn't have to be a really bad wound para sabihin may rabies. Pero typically, talagang mas namamaga, mas nagsiswell, masakit, mas na-infect ang rabid wound.
Right. So, Doc Marga, totoo ba yun na pag nakagat ka, dapat paduguin mo?
Sa totoo, nasa saliva, no? So ako, instead of that, I would say, number one, it's so simple. The virus doesn't live outside the body for very long. So the key is, namamatay siya sa ordinary soap and water. Yeah. So like with any wound, whether you're worried about tetanus or in our case tonight, rabies, soap and water.
Yeah.
Right? Just really soap it. Soap, SOP, sa any sugat naman kahit lupa, tetanus, di ba? Laway ng aso or pusa or scratch, soap and water, and then you treat it na like with an antiseptic ointment after that.
Not
But
bawang.
the saliva, the virus in the saliva will die outside the body and can be killed by regular soap.
Ayan, hindi bawang.
Yeah, not bawang. Don't do that.
Mas may infect pa
Kulang na.
nila.
Igisa mo na lang, no? Ginisa yung laman.
Bawang, sibuyas, kamatis.
Onion. Ayan o. Luya.
Tsaka luya. Hindi, so hugas. So, wash. Running water, soap.
Water. Soap and
Yon.
water.
99.9% naman na antiseptic soap. So may 0.01%.
Na,
To get
sa safeguard yun eh.
Oh, but twice ka. Free,
Yeah.
ano?
0.01.
Correct.
Safeguard magalaw ng baso.
Okay.
Everybody listening tonight, no, yung nanonood, whether may mapanood kayong tao or mangyari sa inyo, run ka agad. Habang nagpapanik, don't panic, calm down, run to the sink, joy dishwashing, 99.9 ganon na soap na mga antibacterial, go for it. Okay?
Oh, Joy, baka naman.
Sponsor. Enjoy.
Ang dami nating minention, no?
Ang dami safeguard,
Sponsor.
Joy.
Baka pwede sponsor for anti-rabies.
Yeah, oo naman. Why not, di ba? So, okay, what do we need to watch out for na symptoms? How early yung, and not or how early, no? We talked about that already. Pero
Yeah,
what
we
are the
talked about-
symptoms what are the symptoms that we need to watch out for na parang you would really suspect na teka lang?
So in dogs, it's very early. That's the easy part, right?
Yeah.
As soon as 3 days, you'll have a lethargic dog. Ibig sabihin, medyo mahina, walang gana. Parang may sakit talaga. Mukhang may sakit. So either hindi masyado, right, hindi gumagalaw, mahina kumain, mahila. And this will happen after the bite, right? And when they bite, they have to have symptoms already, remember, to transmit rabies.
Right.
Okay, so it's another thing for people, no? Kala nila, ay, nakagat lang sila ng healthy dog, walang sakit. Honestly, it's unlikely. Not 100%, but it's transmittable in their saliva when there's already clinical symptoms in animals.
Yun.
So, also history-based, of course. Not all, dahil nga ang bilis ng symptoms niya na nagpa-progress. So, mayroong history-based na rin na parang when your dog gets bitten by someone or some other dog na hindi mo kilala. Yun. It's part of a sign na agad.
Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna have to move on now to the Q&A.
Yeah.
Right? Medyo madami-dami na tayong questions na naiipon.
Yes.
So, take a quick break lang, and when we return, we're gonna answer your questions. If you have more questions, please just go ahead and type it in the comment section, and then we will answer all of that. Alright. Okay, we're back. Sabi siya,
Quick
mabilis
talaga.
lang. Quick lang talaga. Wala pa.
Hindi pa nag-chismis ako.
So we're gonna skip some of the questions that we've already answered, no? So siguro ito, there's one question here. Hello, Doc. Ask lang.
Hi, Helen.
Nakagat po ako ng aso. Tanong ko lang po kung kailan ako kakain ng diaper.
Girl, if trip mo, nobody would stop it.
Hindi, just clarify na lang the question na if ano.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Baka serious eh.
I
Hindi
think,
natin
gets ko siya.
Really, Doc?
Nanonood din ako. Gets ko siya. So, in humans, kita mo, tra-translate ko sa inyo eh. This is
Sige nga,
full
Doc.
talk.
We resonate.
Yeah, gets na gets ko. It just means when she's gonna lose her mind, right? Gets ko.
Yun. Oo nga.
So,
naman.
again,
Girl, baka hindi
in people, it's a long incubation period. So, it can be anywhere from months to a year. Depends how severe the bite is, where the human was bitten. Iba kapag kamay, iba kapag sa leeg.
Sa leeg.
Yeah.
It will
Right.
determine the incubation period.
Yeah. So the closer
Pero
the bite to the
maganda,
head, the faster.
Bago ka pa kumain ng diaper, pa-inject ka na lang.
Oo,
Yeah.
tama yan. Oo.
Mahal din natin yung diaper. Baka.
Oo nga. Mahal diaper, sayang. Okay, so here's another question. Hi, Doc. Ano po ang mga signs ng pet na may rabies? Ito yung kanina. no?
Yeah.
Oo.
So, yan.
So we discussed that already. Okay, here's another one. Can stray dogs get rabies when they go through the garbage to look for food?
No?
Can
Pwera
they?
kung merong asong nakatago dun sa basurahan. Pero again, a dog can only catch rabies. Mahahawa lang ang isang aso sa ibang aso na meron ng rabies. Okay?
Yun.
Or pusa. Technically, or pusa. So, galing lang yan dapat sa isang hayop na meron ng rabies nakakagat dun sa aso.
Yeah, and again, yun nga, kasi diba yung virus, it only leaves outside of the body like in a very short time.
Yeah.
So if it's like, kung yun yung question is kung dahil sa laway na kumain and then kinain niya rin yung, like kung may laway
Nalawayan niya eh.
nalawayan ng
Oo.
rabid dog. So usually naman, namamatay na siya naman.
Agad.
Wag lang
Yeah.
syempre like right
That's-
after.
Yeah.
But does it
Unlike-
have to be on an open wound? O kunwari, dinilaan niya yung dila?
Yes. No. It has to be broken skin, mucous membrane.
Mucous membranes, yes.
Okay.
So, what's the mucous membranes? Inside the mouth, the eyes,
The eyes.
and then open cuts sa
Kung may
skin.
singaw or ano.
Yan. Oo.
May
Basta
singaw, no?
bukas.
Paano
So,
mo
may singaw.
Nagkakasingaw ba yung mga dog? Iba-iba na eh.
Oh, I saw in one of the clips, yung bata kinagat sa ngalanga daw nung cat. Sa
Oh my
loob ko,
gosh.
ano yung position ng batang yun para makagat sa ngalanga lang?
Bakit? Kinikiss yun
Hey,
siguro.
you have-
Di ba?
Probably yes.
Hi! Ganun. Di ba? Okay, here's another question from...
She has her dog. Is that a dog or a cat?
I think it's a palm. Yeah.
Cute.
Good evening, Doc. Ask ko lang po, kapag nakagat po ba ng aso ang isang tao, pwede po ba ito makahawa sa ibang tao? Thank you. So ako, nakagat ako. Meron ako.
So, may
Tapos
rabies ka?
kagatin kita.
I think
Magkakaroon ka ba?
I think yes, but I cannot say for sure because I'm not a human doctor. Pero I think based on the yes. Yes.
What do you think, Doc Marga?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. Di ko naisip,
It is.
paano kung naulol nga yung kumain ng diaper? Tao ang
Dyan-
kinagat
dyan
niya,
nagsisimula
parang
yung zombie
vampire.
stories.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
baka naman we have an MD there or a bite
Oh.
specialist who can help with that. I don't want to pretend, but technically, if it's alive in the saliva,
Yes.
I can't comment on people. Kahayupan lang alam namin. So, I'm not sure with that. Pero I think it's possible, unusual, but it's possible. Because in some of the news, no, yung nag-alaga, so, kasi tao mag-aalaga dun sa rabies positive na sister. And because inalagaan nila, meaning finid nila, drinapper, so meron chance ng body fluid exchange. Binigyan pa rin ng pre-exposure yung mga kapatid, yung mga caregivers. So in that context, I'd say pwedeng mahawa and dapat rin magpabakuna kung sino na-expose sa taong positive. Ang taong exposed sa taong positive.
Yeah.
Yep. So any MD there or medical doctor for humans watching,
Yes.
maybe you can share your insights.
You
no?
can confirm, yeah?
Yeah. But that's a very, very good question.
Valid.
Yeah,
Valid
napaisip
yun,
din
valid.
kami talaga.
Totoo. So once infected po ng rabies, pwede pa bang magamot?
Dogs or cats? Ay, dogs or
No.
humans, but no.
Either.
No, it's 100% fatal
Fatal.
in animals. 100%
animals.
fatal in animals.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So again, prevention is
The
key.
key.
Yeah. So, hi Doc, question lang. Grabe naman yung post nito eh. Para
Ano
bang,
kay Tina? Di ba?
oo nga.
Anyo ha?
Need din po ba magpa-anti-rabies vaccine pag nakagat ng dog na may complete vaccine naman?
Whew! Okay. I know for a fact the medical doctors have their own protocols with people,
Yeah.
right? The WHO has its own recommendations. In fact, hindi kailangan break ng skin that warrants post-exposure. That is sa human meds. sa human medicine, right? It doesn't have to be grade 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. Require nila. Depende, and kung ilan shots, depende kung anong grade nung bite wound. So, it's a doctor na magde-decide. No?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, Doc MC, Doc Nikki et al. Keep safe. May question siya. I don't know. Hindi ako marunong bumasa ng Japanese.
Ate, si Miss,
Okay. So, question. Nakakagat po aso ko na no vaccine pa. Pero yung nakagat, vaccinated naman po. What will happen po?
wait, yung nakagat niya is dog also? Is a dog also?
Let's assume na dog din.
Okay.
Kasi vaccinated naman daw yung kinagat.
Ang hirap naman ng
Pero
what
siya-
will
Hindi,
happen.
yung
Ay,
nangagat.
ano ba? Yun nangagat.
Yung nangagat,
Not
bakunado.
vaccinated.
Yung nakagat, yung aso niya na nakagat, hindi pa bakunado.
Hindi pa.
Yun ang,
Okay.
That's how I understand it. So, I would
Yeah.
say, technically, protected yung isa. So, kung protected yung isa, hindi siya magkakasakit ng rabies. Therefore, hindi siya manghahawa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pabukanahan mo na rin yung aso mo.
Bakuna na
Sa edad
lang.
Yeah.
Oo.
Your own dog.
Oo.
Basta 3 months 3 to 4 months, but as early as 3 months, please have your dogs and
Pwede
cats vaccinated already.
Yeah. Yeah. Tsaka hindi siya mahal Kahit sa private clinics
Yeah.
Even in our
Yeah.
in
Sa
our
VIP,
branches.
murang-mura.
Murang-mura,
Up to VIP na.
oo.
Visit nyo si Doc Nikki dyan, murang-mura.
Yeah.
Paano pala pag earlier than 3 months?
Earlier than 3 months, pwede.
Hindi yung vet, usually.
Hindi
It's not
naman.
recommended.
Depende. Oo, not
Yeah,
recommended.
the vaccine is not made for animals, and also it will not be able to, the immune system is not super developed. It might not produce the right amount of antibodies for it to become protective.
Also, we have to consider yung vaccination history ng dam or nung nanay nung puppy. Kasi diba, parang it usually goes down at around 3 to 4 months. Kaya yun din yung reason bakit hindi ko pala na-explain. Yung maternal antibody kasi parang when dogs give birth, napapasa din naman yung mga antibody na nagpo-protect sa kanila against the rabies. So, yung mga puppies, when they reach 3 to 4 months, dun palang bumababa. So, dun palang nagkakaroon ng sense kung ba't mo siya kailangan bakunahan. Yun.
Right.
Yeah. Good. Okay, next question. Can ticks and fleas be carrier of rabies?
Only warm-blooded animals. Miss Alma Burwell Ramirez. Only warm-blooded animals can technically carry the virus. So, ticks and fleas are not mammals. Not warm-blooded. Salamat sa tanong.
Another question.
Okay.
For Doc Marga, for sure.
Coming from our social media
Planted na yata
consultant.
to, sunod-sunod. O yung barangay Marga, nahuhuli tayo, sunod-sunod yung mga tanong nyo, ha?
If a pregnant woman with rabies gives birth, will the offspring also have rabies?
See that? Ang talino ng batang to. Kaninong anak
Oo nga eh. Kanino bang anak to?
Yung mga ba?
Hirap na hirap siguro nanay niya.
So parang ganito lang yan, Doc Marga. I don't know if you can relate to, Blade, the vampire? His mom was bitten by a vampire.
Kaya hindi siya complete change.
While she was giving birth. Diba? So nung pinanganak si Blade, naging half vampire, half human siya.
Nag-uusap.
Ganon.
Parang
So ganun ba?
Twilight yan. Oo.
Parang,
Parang ganun.
So if
Marga millennial, ikaw boomer.
If-
Ano yung
If you're sige, ganito na lang, no? If you're rabies, so ikaw, kunwari lang, buntis ka. Kunwari, buntis ka na. Buntis
So
ka na.
annoying.
Magkakagat ka ng rabies na, aso na may rabies. So, magkaka-rabies ba yung anak mo?
Hindi, kasi vaccinated ako.
So, okay. Okay, that's a very good answer,
Roxy, ang hirap naman, tanong.
Ano?
with rabies gives?
Oy, my God! Wala bang MD dyan? Maawa na kayo sa
Wala.
amin. Please answer
Diyan
all
na
these human questions. But I will be bold enough to say, common sense, medical experience will say yes, because it crosses the placenta, the barrier. It's a shared, di ba? Shared ang blood flow. And if it's carried there, I'd say posible.
But with dogs
Pero
naman,
baka
I
naman
don't
may
think-
doctor there who can help. Anyone from San Lazaro have tip yun.
Yeah, oo.
Next time
Give you-
pala
give you a
dapat
free
mag-guest tayo ng human doctor.
Human doctor, yeah. Pero I think if it's dog, pag kung dog naman yung question, parang
Nananawagan
hindi
po
na-
kami sa doktor dyan.
Baka hindi na-aabot. Parang hindi na siya well enough to give birth. So,
Because
it doesn't-
because the pregnant lady will die before she
Not
gives birth.
well,
Pero
yung
pwede
dog.
daw ng 1 year eh. So,
Yeah.
9-10
But if
months
it's a
lang ang
dog muna.
pagbubuntis. So, pwede pa.
Yeah. Actually, oo eh.
Yeah.
Meron, there's this case na ngayon lang na-report, no? Pero the guy was bitten from last year pa.
Yeah, but kasi hindi niya tinapos yung
Hindi siya nagpa-booster eh.
post-exposure protocol.
O hindi daw kinompleto, no? In the
Yeah.
news clips,
Oh,
there's
yes.
that sayang they didn't complete it. So the tricky thing with humans is you don't feel sick, right?
Yeah.
You don't, there's no symptoms for a long time. So nakakampante.
Yun.
Yeah.
There's this case, I think, not this year, pero from last year. No? She's a girl. Little girl, siguro mga 7-8 years old. Tumaka siya. Umattend siya ng birthday party.
Little girl?
Oo. Kasi nasa kapitbahay lang eh.
naman.
May children's party, kapitbahay lang. Hindi siya nagpaalam sa parents niya. Okay? Ngayon, dun sa party, nakita sa CCTV there was a stray dog na naligaw, tapos pumunta doon, nakakagat ng 4 na tao, including her. Okay? The 3 adults that got bitten got their post-exposure shots, right? The girl did not say anything to the mom kasi natakot siya eh.
tumaka siya.
Oo eh. Baka mapagalitan siya eh.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that girl did not survive.
Yeah. So, dapat di ka tumataka sa magulang mo.
Hindi yun.
Ay, hindi. Sorry.
Kailangan honest ka. So, dapat
Mali yung takeaway.
kailangan magsabi, no? Ang daming ganun eh. May nakita din ako na news clip from this year na ganun din siya. Medyo dalaga na lang. 21-year-old girl naman to. Na hindi din siya, hindi din niya sinabi na nakagat siya.
Yeah. Maybe kasi it's parang they dismiss it as something na hindi naman ganun ka-serious.
Wag. Oo.
Yeah.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yes, of course. So, get your,
And they offer it for free, ha? So, a lot of LGUs and public hospitals are offering post-exposure rabies shots for humans for free. So, take advantage.
Yeah.
Take advantage.
Yeah, usually sa mga city government, sa city hall.
Kasi kami pag bite center pa, minsan may bayad pa. So,
Yeah,
kailangan
pag
sa
mga bite centers. Pero usually kasi pag yun nga, meron naman mga available na free talaga. But
Yeah.
sometimes syempre
Because
you have to
private
wait in line.
hospitals, abuting 28,000 pa rin minimum.
Yeah. It's
If you go
expensive.
to bite
Grabe.
center pa ko.
Grabe yun. Oo.
from free to 28,000.
Yeah.
Grabe yun. So, I think we have do we have questions from IG, from our other platforms? I think I have one here. So, is there a genetic resistance to rabies in certain dog breeds?
Ang hirap naman yung tanong. Pero no, I
No.
don't think.
Kasi,
No.
wala.
No.
Walang
there's
pinipiling breed yan.
There's no, diba? Nikki, there's no breed that is immune to any virus. Immunity to viruses is because of antibodies which come from a vaccine, an inoculation, injection, or a natural infection.
So the thing is, walang pinipili yung rabies. So, kahit gaano pa kamahal na dog.
yeah.
Kaya pabakuna na kayo
Pabakuna na.
sa
Yes.
Sa VIP.
Do behavioral changes from rabies mimic
aside
neurological
from
disorders like
anti-rabies,
epilepsy?
there's
Ayan, do behavioral changes from rabies mimic neurological disorders like epilepsy?
Yeah.
It
I think,
does.
yeah, kasi pag nagsi-seizures. Kasi parang epilepsy is like seizures in, I'm not sure. Parang yun, baka yung epilepsy is like
Yeah.
seizures.
In dogs in very advanced, usually it's paralytic, no? So when it reaches the brain, the central nervous system, they usually go with one severe seizure before they die. Sa dogs, sa rabies. So seizure-wise, yes, it would be similar. Yung salivation maybe after, except it won't be repetitive. I haven't seen it repetitive seizures in a rabid dog. Usually, ano na yun. Yung final hours.
Last stages na yun, no? Yeah. Okay, so is it possible for a vaccinated dog to transmit rabies without being symptomatic?
Let's say, no.
Bakunado eh.
Yeah. Pero, no.
So no, kasi
Yeah. If
to begin with, hindi siya
siya-
ma-infect
yeah.
eh.
Oo,
Kasi vaccinated siya. Oo.
But for the sake of argument, vaccination doesn't 100%
Yes, there's no 100%
guarantee
protection.
that antibodies are made. So, di ba, by the body in anything. So, for the sake of argument, vaccinated siya. So, the next question would be, did the dog create enough antibodies to
Yes.
protect itself from the disease? Because was it a good quality vaccine? Right? Was it handled properly? Storage pa lang pwedeng yung effectiveness ng vaccine is effective already. So even if it was given, it didn't cause the right immune response, no, stimulate the right immune response in the body. Was the dog sick already na hindi nakagawa ng enough antibodies para be protective? So I guess those are the questionable things lang with that question. But technically, if we will assume na bakunado, naging protektado, no symptoms is because walang disease. Because again, transmittable lang yung virus when there are clinical symptoms already. I'm sure there's a few exceptions, but if you read all the literature on it, transmission really happens pag may clinical signs na yung dog.
Kasi dun sa nagsa-start mag-bite ng dog.
Right. Okay.
It just means na, so if it's very early tas nangagat, baka hindi pa transmittable yung virus during that point.
Right. Okay. Great. Any other questions from you, Garp?
Na wala pa.
Not so far.
Then maybe,
Na-address na even
Wala
the
pa.
mga the
Right.
complex.
Okay. Wala na akong questions actually, and I don't think we have any more other questions din sa stream. So I think also that's the only time that we have, unfortunately, right? And so maybe I will be asking for our speakers to just give some parting words to our viewers.
Key takeaways.
Yeah, our key takeaways for everybody. So let's start with Garp. Anong pwede nating
Key takeaways? Yung
yes,
sa akin,
key takeaways yan.
that rabies is very fatal,
Yep.
but it's 100% preventable. So,
Yeah.
prevention is always better than cure. Yun yung what I took away from the webinar.
Right. Thank you, Garp. What about you, Doc Nikki?
Well, ayun, vaccinate your dogs and have them neutered and castrated, neutered and spayed. So, parang prevent na lang din natin the spread of like yung unwanted pregnancies with our animals. And VIP is always open for your vaccination needs.
Right. Okay. Doc Marga, any final words for everybody?
I think with this problem, one, it's preventable by vaccination. Number two, in connection with what Nikki has just shared, is it has to do with controlling animal population and with stray animals. So it's a holistic view, Dapat mapababa natin ang mga population ng strays para hindi makapag-spread ng mga sakit na disease. Tayo namang responsible na pet owners, dapat papakunahin natin yung mga aso natin and then keep them safe, cage, leashed, or within our walls to prevent diseases.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Doc Marga. Okay, so right now, I think madami tayong na pick up, no, dito sa topic na to. It's very timely once again, and I hope that our viewers have also been able to pick up a lot from this. Don't forget, visit all our VIP branches, all 7 branches, to get your dogs and cats vaccinated. Follow our pages for more updates. So we have our socials, Facebook, YouTube. We have our Instagram and TikTok accounts. Share this video, guys. Tag your friends. Share natin to para we can spread awareness.
Yeah. So it's a collective effort for from everyone, so from the government to pet owners to us like veterinary professionals. It would also really be helpful kung talagang lahat tayo would help with eradicating rabies in the Philippines. So, information, you can share this. And then if you have further questions na hindi na namin na-pick up with the live, you can just message us and we'll be glad to answer it for you.
Yes. All right. And that's about it. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to our IT personnel, Jay Cortez. Thank you to Mandaluyong branch for hosting the episode again. Doc Nikki, Doc Nikki and Garp. Thank you so much. And of course, Doc Marga.
Thank you,
From a
Doc.
very remote
Good
location.
job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Night.
Good night. Bye, guys.